So if you're watching this, you're from the future. Woo. Hi, future.
We've read Zenith. Swear to God, I'm gonna call it Zenith at one point because...
Hashtag Canadiana.
Canuck.
Canuck! So the thing about this book is I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So it's right in that like middle zone where I just look at it and it's like, I don't know what to say about you. Like, you're not bad, you're not good.
Usually I have that kind of problem too, but for some reason this book had like specific bad things that I could pick out and pick apart, so I had an easier time with it, like reviewing it, but I totally get where you're coming from. There's a lot of like 1-star reviews and the author's getting just like a lot of like mean hate, I think. It's not phenomenal. It's not unique, but it's not like the worst piece of shit we've ever read.
This book, it follows a girl gang of space pirates, which I really should have been there for because that's like my thing. There's Andromeda, who's the captain, who has a dangerous dark past. She's known as the Bloody Baroness around the universe because she's this like cutthroat, violent, scary mercenary who just loves killing. Like, she relishes killing. And you know that gif of Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy when he's stabbing the monster in the beginning of the movie? That's what she's supposed to be.
And then 2 seconds of meeting her, you're like, this girl's a fucking marshmallow. Give her some kittens. Roll her in some like toilet paper with some fluffy white kittens.
And okay,
she'd be happy there.
My problem though is she like fluctuates back and forth. Like, if the plot needs her to be a murderer, it's like, oh, the Baroness is here. And then the next moment she's like, I can't believe I killed all those people. I'm such a monster.
Let me dance with the dead.
And then it's just like, oh, you know, she relished killing. This is what she lived for. She was in her element.
And then she's like, I'm gonna scribe the dead in my sword so I never forget them.
And there was this one line that was just like how she like she killed her way across the room, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm flashbacking to like all my role-playing boards as a teenager and how, you know, how to be epic and dark.
Yeah.
And you know, you're in that tavern and there's a bar fight and you fight your way across and you punch some random NPC. That was kind of nostalgic.
Yeah. Then there is her pilot Lyra, who has a mutation where she gets to glow, and if she gets agitated, she like overheats.
Yeah, her emotions, and like if she gets super angry too, like she feels anything super strong, her scales like can burn through stuff.
She's like on the run from her past. She's trying to make her own way in the world.
Basically, she does not want to be queen of her planet. Her aunt is the queen. Her aunt wants to pass down the throne to her, but she doesn't want to. She wants to be a pilot.
Then there is Gilly, who's like a 13-year-old, like, crazy gunner, like, shoot 'em up, kill 'em up.
Like something you'd find in Borderlands.
Yeah, she's that girl from Borderlands who likes to blow stuff up, Tiny Tina. Yeah, so she doesn't really have much of a past that's explained, but she is good friends with Breck, a giantess warrior who also conveniently does not have a past because she does not remember it.
And then there is Dextra.
Ooh, the love interest.
The love interest. Okay, so the thing about Dextra and Andy is they've had this past, and they were, you know, like big love affair, like written across the stars. And he taught her how to be a warrior, and she loved him, and he loved her, but then he found out about her true secret past, and so he betrayed her. And she, like, got revenge by leaving him on a planet, stabbing him, you know, as you do as Drax, and then stealing his ship. And that's the ship she has now, the Marauder.
But, you know, he also had, like, a good reason for, like, betraying her. So he wants to tell her, but she won't listen. And they both have, like, she's like, I hate you, I want you to die, but I want you so badly.
My body is betraying me. And I'm just sitting there just like...
please stop.
Because the moment he's introduced, and this is within the first 20 pages of the book, you know they're going to end up together because you've read this story a million times before. There's really nothing that makes their relationship interesting. Like, it would have been more interesting if, like, he tells her and his reason isn't good enough. But no, she's like, oh my god, it's true, like, you did the right thing and I'm a monster for feeling this way and, like, I still love you.
So her big dark secret is... well, it's not even really a secret. People know about it. So she was once an elite soldier, and she made friends with the leader of her planet's daughter, and she was selected to be that girl, her name was Kaylee's bodyguard. And you know, they were best friends, they were always there for each other. One night, they decided to just let it all go, let loose, and take a plane and go joyriding. And, you know, it was all going fun, they were laughing, until Andromeda crashes the stupid thing into a mountain. Kaylee dies. The whole planet looks at her, goes, murderer! And she's about to be executed when she gets freed by her parents. That's when she runs away and meets Dextra.
On the other side of the galaxy, there is Nora, who is the queen of this planet, and this planet is dying. There was a huge war in the galaxy, and the rest of the alliance basically bombed this planet back to the Stone Age, and so she's just she's full of rage and she's gonna have her revenge, and she's actually the most interesting character in the book.
Yeah, because she's legitimately gone through some terrible shit and she has some reasons to be pissed off. Number one, her father was killed in the war, her mother was kidnapped by the Alliance,
and the Alliance broadcasted her murder.
She lost a hand in the bombing. She's sitting there just in this ruin of a planet, just watching everyone, all the people she's supposed to save, just die, and there's nothing she can do about it. There's no food, there's no shelter, there's no real good drinking water. It's full of radiation. She's just we're fucked. So I'm gonna have my revenge, and it's the only way out.
I mean, her uncle basically raised her to be an ice queen.
Despite the fact that he raised her to be an ice queen, she's still managed to keep some of her humanity because she's in love with her boyfriend. And, he supports her, and so, she's got, a good, solid backstory to work off. She could easily walk into the cliche realm further down the line, but right now, she's the one that's actually holding this book together.
And then, there are flashbacks to Nora's mother, Claren, who was the queen, who there was this place, and she was a member of this place, and she killed all the people in this place so that the king would find her, and he fell in love with her.
Her backstory's weird.
It's weird, and so she becomes the queen, and then one night of maybe too much wine and having a bit too much fun, she gets pregnant because she forgot to take her birth control, and she's like, okay, I guess I have a kid now. Oops. Oh, just one more thing to tie me to the world because there's this thing that I have to do, and it's gonna be awful.
It's like that thing you would write when you're trying to write a tragic character as a kid, where you're like, I love the world too much, but I have this sacrifice that I have to make, and it's so painful, but I love this world so much, but this is my destiny.
So, during one of the big sacks of this planet, she says goodbye to her daughter and her husband when he's like, go be safe, and she's like, okay. And then she walks out and gets kidnapped by the general. But she has special mind control powers, so she can compel people to do stuff, and so she basically tells the general that he's in love with her, and then he gets her pregnant, and then she has another baby, and this baby is Valen. This is where I got really confused. So, the big thing is Nora finds out that she has a half-brother, and the half-brother is the son of the general. You're the general's wife, right?
Yep.
And your husband is cheating on you, and everyone knows your husband is cheating on you because he's allowing his mistress to live in the house with you. And she has free reign. She can do whatever she wants within the house. She has a baby, so now she has a little child running around. And then your husband gets rid of her because, he gets rid of her.
She's evil. Wow.
Hey, honey, this is my bastard. You want to raise it as your own? You better say yes.
Well, I guess the thing, that planet is very big on appearances, so she would have been like, well, this looks better than bastard kid, but still.
And so Valen is living with the family, and the general, the most clever thing that the general does is he doesn't make Valen his heir, because yeah, Claren was a little crazy, so I don't want her influence on my heir, so he makes Kaylee the heir. So on the other side of the galaxy, Nora finds out that she has a half-brother, and so she ends up having her half-brother kidnapped, and then she puts him in this super awful jail to be tortured so he can get his compulsion power brought out.
They gotta be powerful together.
The general's like, I need you to go rescue my son.
Androma.
And
Dextra.
Androma's like, I don't want to. And he's like, well, I'll give you, a pardon, and you can come home. Well, that's good. Yeah, I'll do that. Oh, by the way, you're working with your ex.
Hey. Basically, they're going on this crazy mission to save Valen. And he's secretly evil.
I thought that this was going to be a heist novel, but the whole, heist happens in half a chapter, and I got through that, and I'm like, what are we going to do now? Oh, we're just going to go to parties on planets. Cool, yeah, thanks.
Actually, that would have been so much better if it was, a longer heist, right? Where there was actual, back and forth, not oh, they stormed the place and they killed everyone.
I wanted to know more about the torturer because she was creepy.
Yeah, she was. She was like, I'm sexy because I'm putting my whip near my vagina. Yay.
And then the other thing that I really liked was the romance happening in the background between the ship AI and Alfie.
That was cute.
That was super cute.
So their ship is now in love with this AI, and you're like, oh, it's never gonna happen.
Okay. So now the big climax is they get Valen back to the homeworld, and there's this big ball about the whole, like, oh, you know, we're like a system and we work together and the war's been over and this is a big deal.
We're moving on.
We're moving on. Valen asks Andy to be his date to the ball to like upset his father, and so they dance and everything's good, and then all of a sudden the ball is attacked by Nora's troops, and they're shooting people, but they're using these super cool guns, like there's no blood, and the bullets are silver.
And she's just like, what's going on? And then they find out, as Andy and Dex barely escape with the general's like broken body, that it's Zenith, and Zenith is a mind control thing built off of Nora's powers that will, you know, anybody it shoots will just immediately align with Nora. So they sneak out through a secret passageway, and the general is dying. He's like, I need to transfer the power of the leadership of the planet, but the only person from that planet that's nearby is Androma, so I'm gonna do it even though I hate her.
The book basically ends with Dex, Androma who's passed out, Lyra's twin brother who's also passed out,
Everybody's just passed out.
the body of the general on the ship fleeing the country.
And,
the planet.
Andy's crew has been taken over by Zenith.
Yeah.
Valen is now aligned with his sister, and they're set for global domination.
Yeah.
There were like a lot of problems with this book that like is very beginner writer, especially the fact like Androma is the bloody baroness, but like the moment you meet her, you're like, this woman is not dangerous. Or there's the fact that like, you know, she's supposed to be this elite warrior when she's supposed to be executed, like she was hand chosen to guard Kaylee because she's awesome and she's a good fighter and she's gonna keep her safe. But the second she meets Dex, he's the one who turns her into this crazy good fighter, and you're like, she was an elite soldier on a military planet. She should have been fucking kicking his ass before all this shit. How is he the one who's teaching her all these crazy moves?
I can show you the world. So their entire relationship, it's supposed to be played as will they, won't they, but it's like, you know they will.
Like, where's the nearest horizontal surface?
You know they will.
They're gonna get it on.
Because they're both like, oh, I shouldn't think about it this way. Oh, my body's betraying me. And I'm just like, no, show me the cute romance between the two AIs. I'm there for that.
It'd be, like, more interesting if, like, she was in love with Lyra.
There is a lot that we didn't talk about.
There's a lot that you don't really care about.
Yeah.
Like, the whole middle section, you're like, ugh.
It's okay.
Like, it's fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
You might like it. You might not. It's not awful. Like,
it's fine.
It's fine. You're fine. Just if you like space stuff, you might like it. It's okay.
It's fine. You're fine.
If you've read Zenith, tell us about it in the comments. What you liked, what you didn't like.
What you think is gonna happen in the next book.
Yeah, because I have some thoughts.
They're not good thoughts.
Which might be a post.
I mean, we've been here before. There have been some series like Red Queen where we're like, okay, it's got some problems. Maybe it'll get better in the next book. And did not get better. It got worse. It got so much worse. And then there's been like Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass series where the first two books were a slog fest for me. Like, just terrible. And then the third one was good. So, who knows? Who knows?
Anything can happen in this magical place called publishing and the internet.
And like, you know, she's got a year or so to grow as writers and take the feedback and turn it into something better. So, let's see. Anyways, let us know what you think. Bye, guys.
Bye.